Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and today I have game 1 of a best of 1. It is going to be on Belshire and it is a Zerg versus Protoss. So, let's get into this and introduce the two players. In the top left, we have the red Zerg player, it is MandyMoore. And his opponent, in the bottom right, is the blue Protoss player from Team Evil Geniuses, it is INcontrL. And apparently MandyMoore is a massive fan of INcontrL, which is not surprising. INcontrL is a pretty awesome guy. He is really cool. And yeah, if you're not a fan of him, then I don't know who you would be a fan of, because I think of people in esports, INcontrL has got to be one of the most genuine and cool guys and passionate about what he does and things. So I'm not an INcontrL fanboy, but if I was going to be a fanboy of any player, it very well may be INcontrL, because I think he's pretty swish. So, what can we expect from these two? Well, currently INcontrL putting a pylon down on the low ground. This is fine. This is safe. He could still go Nexus first. He could still go Forge first. Both good. What he's going to do is come and scout out and see, okay, what's happening? Nice early scout. It's a best of 1 after all. Probably a ladder game. And what you've got to be really cautious of is if there's any kind of early pulls or anything like that. So, just coming in, going to come around, going to see that, okay, this pull was a bit early, and INcontrL will realise that it wasn't a 14 or it was a 15. It was a 14 pull, not a 15 pull, and so that's something that you don't want to particularly risk too much. Actually, no, it was a 13 pull, even earlier than that. So yeah, 13 pull. INcontrL is going to keep an eye out, see if there's any lava banking up. That's the big thing you want to keep an eye out for. Going to see, nope, okay, there's not lava banking yet. Wants to try and keep an eye out. Wants to come and see if the hatchery comes down. Try and block it if it does. There's already a coming down, and he's just going to go Nexus first behind this because he knows if this drone's got pulled, if it's trying to take a Nexus and there's not lava banked yet, probably going to be safe. But if we take a look back up here, look at this, lava starting to bank up. 4 Zerglings already there. 6 could be ready to come down. But no, drones getting started. So not a big commitment. Probably going to get 2, maybe 4 Zerglings out. There we go, 4 Zerglings. INcontrL is going to come back up though and see 3 eggs. This is going to be like, okay, could be 6. Better start my wall off very quickly. And obviously Belshire is a relatively large map, so you don't have to go full on panic mode, but something just to keep a little bit cautious about. So, hatchery coming down. Spawning pool down, 4 Zerglings coming out, 6 going to be following this up, so this actually now has to do a bit of damage, in my opinion, because getting that down delays your third, getting 6 Zerglings out. That third probably won't be coming down until 4 minutes 20-ish, unless there's some corners cut. INcontrL, he's just going to make sure that he doesn't take any damage from this. You don't want Zerglings coming in, and that's why he's getting this nice little wall off here. Could come and sit the probe down. The cannon isn't actually going to be done in time if these Zerglings just keep running in. And so MandyMoore could make it into the main base, and this is where it's a little bit frustrating. Actually, without the pylon block, these Zerglings could go straight for the cannon. That is exactly what they're going to do. INcontrL is going to be in a little bit of problems here because this cannon taking a lot of damage and will go down just a second after it finishes, and that now means there's nothing here to defend this natural base. Probes getting pulled. INcontrL now fully aware that this is slightly problematic. Going to start another cannon fairly quickly. The probe's going to try and knock this back. The cannon coming down is going to be a bit of a pain, but this is lost mining time straight away. Look at the incomes from these two players if I bring up the right tab. This is the difference. MandyMoore getting nearly double the income of his opponent right now, and that of course is going to be a little bit problematic. 1 probe already being taken out. The probes have got to keep that cannon alive. That's the important thing. Another probe falls, and all these probes going down just slowly to these Zerglings, plus the lost mining time, is really awkward. Now a lot of probes are going down here. This is really early on to be losing this much. The Zerglings getting pulled back. Only 1 was remaining, but it did get taken out. But 10 workers killed already. This is not looking too good for INcontrL. But the only plus side is the MandyMoore has committed quite a lot of lava to getting these Zerglings out early on. And so if you've done that, then you're not going to have the drones there. So actually, in terms of drone difference, 21 to 19, not a huge problem. And indeed, derp that was. You just ran Zerglings into a wall off with a cannon up. Not the most efficient use of them. So, INcontrL, he's lost, well, just over 3 times as many resources as his opponent. That ain't too great, but what he's also managed to achieve is his opponent to get a lot of Zerglings out, not get many drones, and actually he defended this fairly okay. I think it's fair to say he didn't take too much. The probe pulling was really smart actually, because he managed to keep this cannon alive. He's now getting his cyber core down, and the third for MandyMoore is also significantly delayed too. So that's giving INcontrL the chance to come back into this by getting out some probes. You can see already that he's pretty much leveled out the worker count. So all in all, I'd say they're in a fairly equal spot for the time being. If the additional Zerglings hadn't have run in, and MandyMoore after the first 6 just went straight into drone production, I think it would have been in the Zerg's favour slightly, but now those additional Zerglings probably just levelled it out quite nicely. So this is looking quite nice at the moment for both players. Probably going to be getting into a bit more of a longer macro game. But for the time being, just more gases being taken, going up to 3. 3 gases is really quite specific. The big thing that I'd always worry about if I saw 3 gases is some kind of big roach push, roach speed push, roachling push, etc. Because 3 gases is a bit scary. If you see 4 gases too, which you've now got coming down, you've always got to be thinking about big tech ups, because MandyMoore is at 54 supply. Which isn't stupidly early to get that down, but remember 6 of that is Zerglings. The third base was delayed as well, so the drone count is a little bit lower. Usually you'd expect to see gas slightly later on. INcontrL is going to be going for a Stargate. The lair is also now finished up, so teching is a viable option at the moment for MandyMoore, and what tech comes out is going to be really important. If a Hydrogen was to come down, this Stargate is going to get shut down really hard. But the Overlord, just sitting out to the side, hasn't got any scouting information out yet. Other than that third gas has just finished. Can't see the fourth. Probably going to see MandyMoore coming in and check for that. But Spire is going to be on its way. 4 gases is usually a good indicator that Spire play is going to be coming down, because especially that early on getting those 4, it's a good indicator. So as you can see, for the time being, just chilling around, not too much really going on here. Both players just sitting back, teching up. Phoenix are going to be coming out here for INcontrL. Getting Phoenix is great, because now if mutas are going to be the aim of this Spire, well, obviously INcontrL's got a good counter to those, as long as he micros well. And remember back to when those 6 Zerglings first got in, INcontrL showing that he had relatively good micro there, defending that cannon. So things are looking okay for him, especially if he keeps up the Phoenix production. He should get 4 out anyway as just standard, because you need 4 to deal with queens effectively. So yeah, things for INcontrL for the time being are looking relatively good. He's somewhat blindly countered what his opponent's doing, because if we flick over to INcontrL's vision, he hasn't seen these gas, he hasn't seen the third, he was just going Phoenix aggression anyway. So the Mutalisks, if they come out, not going to be too effective, but Corruptors, 1 or 2, good way to deal with the Phoenix anyway. So that's looking good. 4 additional gateways coming down, so it's 5 gate plus Stargate, and plus 1 is on its way down. So INcontrL is teching up, he's getting upgrades, everything coming down nicely. 2 Corruptors adding into this. I cannot emphasize enough how smart that is. And it's before the scout even went up. So MandyMoore, with these 2 Corruptors, will be able to counteract the damage that the Phoenix could potentially do if they were there. This is nothing but great, and it means that actually these Phoenix aren't going to be too good. And in comes the Overseer as well, and this Overseer is going to come in, see the Phoenix, and be like, I'm so glad I made those Corruptors. The Overseer going to try and get as much of a scout as he can, is going to see these 4 gateways. That's a good little scout there, because that's when you know, okay, this is actually going to be quite a bit of aggression. We do have the 1-1 upgrades coming down, as well as +1 air weapons already started. So actually this force sitting here, these Phoenix are not going to be able to do too much, especially with the Corruptors. The Corruptors will really shut it down, and we've got 4 more on the way too. So a big commitment to these Corruptors now, and they should be coming over to deal with this. The Spore Crawlers are on the way. The Queen ideally would have got saved, and does manage to get saved there with just 9 health, but a Mutalisk goes down in exchange. Fleet Beacon on its way. That's after the Mutalisk got scouted, so the Fleet Beacon can be used for the Anion Pulse Crystals in order to just really nice and simply get down the extended range on the Phoenix to try and deal with the Mutalisk better. So that's a nice spot by itself. We've got the Spire still researching that +1, about half done, and a nice little bit of a push on its way forward. So are these Zerglings going to be able to do much damage? Probably not. Can they catch out some units off guard? Potentially, especially with the Mutalisk if they came in too, but the Phoenix are always going to be a threat there, because if the Phoenix were going to move in, that is where they can do a lot of damage, and that's exactly what we're seeing INcontrL do here. He is getting a nice amount of damage off, picking off a few of these Mutalisks. 1 goes down. If he gets a second one too, that could be disastrous, and he may well do it. There we go. So all of the Mutalisks have now been taken out. There's still 10 Corruptors there, so they're going to be able to shut down those Phoenix relatively nicely. But all of the Mutas got taken out. In terms of resources lost, MandyMoore losing nearly double that of his opponent, but INcontrL is going to be forced to cancel this third base. No way he's going to be able to keep that up. So good little snipe off with those Speedlings. In terms of the worker count too, MandyMoore up at 72 drones, so in a nice spot there. Good force fields as well, stopping the rest of these Zerglings doing too much. More Zealots warping in, and +1 is already done. 1-1 is about to kick in though for the Zerg player, which will give a slight advantage. but not by a huge amount. Air weapons coming down, and our impulse crystals 3/4 done. Nothing else really coming out of this Stargate though, so this Phoenix, there's a lot of Phoenix out and not really any Mutalisks. So that's something that INcontrL needs to identify fairly soon, because what's really happening is just a lot of Corruptors and a lot of Zergling pushing in towards this third. MandyMoore wants to deny this third base as long as possible. The cannon's trying to come down. There's a good number of Zealots here though, but the upgrade advantage is still there. The Roaches are still there. The Corruptors are just saying no to these Phoenix very aggressively. And yeah, the Corruptors winning this fight massively on the ground. The Roaches doing an okay job actually against these Zealots here, but the Stalkers are coming in, but mass corruption coming down from all of those Corruptors, and this is where the Roaches can actually do some bonus damage, but just in sheer numbers, this Gateway Force should be able to shut this down. But reinforcements coming in for the Zerg player too, but there's still such a good number of Stalkers there, it should be able to be dealt with. The Zealots getting focused, the Sentries at the back, one with a nice bit of energy, the Force Fields will go down, will prevent the retreat, and this is INcontrL holding his third and dealing with this aggression really quite nicely. But Zerg player's got his fourth up, got a fifth base nearly done as well, and that is where everything starts looking really quite nice for a Zerg when they're up to 5 bases to the 3 of a Protoss player. But what has INcontrL got planned behind this? Well, he's getting some Immortals out, ready to deal with this Roach aggression. The important thing is +1 missile attack isn't yet done. It was +1 melee that was researched. Hydroden coming down too. The only thing that the Zerg player has to be cautious now is, yes, Roach Hydra is really nice composition. Yes, he's got a good number of Corruptors out, but good numbers of Colossi could be a problem. But in come the Roaches. They're coming even more forward. They're trying to push through here. Single Immortal getting caught out of position. Corruption not going down on that yet. The Mothership Core just getting focused for the time being. Will get taken out. The Time Warps will try to prevent the retreat of the Roaches, but INcontrL, he is really up against constant pressure here. The Corruptors are just denying any kind of tech switch into Colossi, which is, what's the smart move? INcontrL could still go Colossi, but you'd have to be very cautious about the Corruptor count. So this is actually quite a cool strategy here. Roach Hydra Corruptor, and the reason MandyMoore can support that is just because of how many bases they're on. So, yeah, Roach is pushing in here towards the third. INcontrL taking quite a sizable chunk of damage. Streams more units coming across. The Zerg player can smell blood and is just going to be swarming all the way across. And as we can see, many probes going down. The next wave on its way through already. The Corruptors are getting focused by these Stalkers, but there's just so many speedings coming in. The Immortal is going to go down here, and things not looking great for INcontrL. The third Nexus is about to go down. There is the Dark Shrine there, and there isn't actually an Overseer anywhere on the field as of yet, so the DTs can eventually swipe their way through, but the Dark Shrine now getting focused. 2 DTs on their way in, and MandyMoore even just being like, I'll leave if you want, I got lucky. So, I'm not sure if that is good manners or bad manners, but he got the Corruptors out. INcontrL is going to try and start slashing his way through, but there are just so many Roaches here. He's already lost his third. More units still streaming across the map, and there's just no way to deal with this. There's no Colossi there. There's some Mutalisks coming in, and MandyMoore, well, he is just going to come and plow straight into the natural base. There isn't any sentries, so defending it's going to be hard. The DTs are desperately trying to get through everything, but there's just so many units here, and INcontrL, ever-mannered, GG's out, and MandyMoore was victorious. So, I hope you all enjoyed that game. If you did, make sure you like the video, leave a cool comment, and of course subscribe. And finally, I will catch you all tomorrow for yet another brand new game. I'm Madals, thanks for watching, and bye for now.